Hello everyone, my name is Prajakta and welcome to my channel Tutorial Time by KU. Today we will learn about Banker's algorithm that is used in operating. So first we will see what is a deadlock. So deadlock is a situation that occurs in operating system when any process enters a waiting state because another waiting process is holding the demanded resource. So this mainly occurs when there are more than one process in the system. So it is always in a multi-processing operating system and they are sharing a specific type of resource. So first we will see what is a circular wait. Process A is allocated resource B and it is requesting resource A. In the same way, process B is allocated resource A and it is requesting resource B. So this creates a circular wait loop. So we can see here there are two processes P1 and P2. P1 is allocated resource 1 but it is waiting for resource R2. Similarly, P2 is allocated resource R2 but it is waiting for resource R1. So this is a circular wait problem. Both are waiting for each other and both will not be terminated unless and until anyone will give away their resource. So this is a deadlock problem. Now we will see Banker's algorithm. So Banker's algorithm is mainly a resource allocation and deadlock avoidance algorithm. So Banker's algorithm will always check if any resources is given to the process, there will be no deadlock in the system. So why this algorithm is given the name Banker's algorithm? Because this algorithm is mainly used in the banking system. So if any loan is to be sanctioned to a person, so first if there are n number of account holders in the bank and the total sum of their money is capital S, then if a person applies for loan, the bank will first subtract the total sum, that is capital S, from the bank amount that is bank is having, and if the amount is greater than S, then only the loan will be sanctioned. So in this state, if all the account holders, even if all the account holders will withdraw their money, it can be easily given to them by the bank. So the bank will never be in the deadlock state, that is it will be always in a safe state. Now we will see if small n is the number of processes and small m is the number of resources. So there are some data structures used like available, max, allocation and need. So we will see these data structures with the help of an example. So there is an example. Consider a system with 5 processes P0, P1, P2, P3 and P4 and 3 resources. Name are given as A, B and C. Resource type A are having 10 instances. So that is there are 10 number of A type resource. B is having 5 instances and type C is having 7 instances. And this is a snapshot, that is at time t0 this is the status of the system. So process P0, P1, P2, P3 and P4 are given and there is a allocation. So allocation means what? They have given A, B, C. Under that they have given values. For example, for A, the value for P0 is 0. Means A type resource is not allocated to P0. B, only one is allocated to P0 and C type also no, it is not allocated to P0. And similarly for P1 A is allocated 2 times to A type resource is allocated and BC is 0. Similarly for P2, P3 and P4. Now the next part is max. So maximum, how much resources type of A, B, C the process will need to complete their execution. So it is for P0 7, 5 and 3. It will need A type 7 resources, B type 5 resources and C type 3 resources. Similarly, the values for P1, P2, P3 and P4 is given. Now last part is available. Here after allocating some of the resources, how much are available with the system. So there are 3, 3 and 2. That is A type 3 are available, B type 3 are available, and C type 2 are available with the system. Now we will find the solution. So first we will calculate the need matrix. Need is calculated as max minus allocation. Now from the given values we can see max and allocation are given. So we will subtract the allocation value from the max value and we will find the need. So 7 minus 0. Max is 7, allocation is 0 for P0. So 7 minus 0 is 7. Then 5 minus 1 is 4 and 3 minus 0 is 3. So if you will subtract the allocation from the max value, that are the given, both max and allocation are given, you will find how much resources are needed for that process for the completion. So from max and allocation we will find the need matrix. So need is equal to max minus allocation. Now available is also given. So available was 332. So we will assign that available values to the work. So work is equal to 332. Now we will find a table, finish table, and we will assign all the values as false. Then for I is equal to 0, we will start from process 0. So I is equal to 0, we will get the need that we have calculated. So need of need 0, that is need of P0, process P0 was 743, and we will check the finish value. So finish of process 0 was false. So only if the finish value is false we will execute for that process. Now finish of 0 was false, so we will continue. Now we will check if the need is less than or equal to work. So work was 332 and the need was 743. So 7 is less than 3? No. So your answer is no. For each and every value you have to check. So 7 was less than 3? No. 7 was less than 3? 4 was less than 3? No. 3 was less than 2? No. So your need is greater than the available work. So we will proceed. Now we will make the I value as 1. That is, we will take the next process. So need of P1 was 122 and its finish value in the table is also false. So we will continue. Now we will check if the need of process 1 is less than or equal to work. Now work is the same in the last process 332. Now your need of P1 was 122 is less than your work 332. So the answer is yes. So we will put the process P1 in the save sequence. So your save sequence is equal to P1. So here what is save sequence? If you will give out the resources to process P1, it can be given because the system is having that much of resources. Now we will do the calculation. What we will do now, we have given out the resources to P1. P1 has done its work and it has again given its resources to the system. So we will, how much resources were allocated to this process P1, that will be added back to the work matrix. So work is equal to work plus allocation 1. Now this allocation is in the given values. In the given values there are allocations given for P0, P1, P2 to P4. So allocation of P1 will be added into the work. So 332 plus allocation was 200. So the values become for work 5, 3 and 2. And we will set P1 as true because we have already taken P1 into the save sequence. Now we will change the I value will be incremented, it will be 2. Now we will see the need of P2 process. The need is 62600 and then its finish value is also false. Now check need is less than equal to work. The need is 600 is less than 532. So the answer is no. So we will proceed. Now we will change the value for I is equal to 3, and now we will take the need of P3 process. So that is 0, 1, 1. Again its finish of 3 value is false. Now check the need is less than equal to work. So need is 0, 1, 1 and is less than 5, 3, 2. So the answer is yes. So we will put P3 in the safe sequence. So our safe sequence will become P1, P3. Now we have allocated the resources to P3. P3 has done its work and it will give its allocated resources back to the system. So we will take the allocation of 3 from the allocation part of the given values and we will add that to the work. So the work values will become 7, 4 and 3, and we will set the P3 is equal to true because we have taken P3 in the safe sequence. Again change the value of I is equal to 4 now. Need of 4 is taken, that is 4, 3, 1. Again its finish value was false. Now we will check need 4 is less than equal to work. Need was 431 is less than 743. The answer is yes. So P4 is in the safe sequence. So our safe sequence will become P1, P3 and now P4 has executed. So we will take its allocation, the resources that we had allocated to it into the work. So allocation was for P4 was 002, add that to 743. So our work will become 7, 4 and 5 and set the finish table value for P4 is equal to true because we have already taken P4 into the safe sequence. Now again P4 was the last resource process, sorry. Again we will check from P0 to P4 for if the value in the finish table is false. We have to add that to the safe sequence. So for we will check I is equal to 0 if its finish value was false. So for 0, P0 in the finish table, P0 value is false. So we will check the need of P0. So need of P0 was 743. Now and the work was 745. Now we will check if the need 0 is less than work. So need 0 743 is less than 745. The answer is yes. So we will take that process in safe sequence and we will add P0 to the safe sequence. So our safe sequence will become P1, P3, P4 and P0. And we will add the work is equal to work plus allocation of 0. So work is equal to 745 plus 010. So 010 was the allocation done to the process P0. So our work will become 755 and we will update the value for P0 is equal to true because we have already taken P0 in the safe. Now I is equal to 1, but I is equal to 1, its finish value is not false, it is true. Why? Because P1 has already executed. So we will change the value. Now I is equal to 2. Now I is equal to 2, that is process P2. The finish value is false, that is it is not taken still. So we will check the need of process 2. So need of process 2 is less than equal to work. So need was 600 is less than 755. Answer is yes. So put P2 in the safe sequence. So the safe sequence will be P1, P3, P4, P0 and P2. So we will again P2 has executed and we will take the allocation and add that to the work. So the allocation to P2 was 302, add that to 755. So our works becomes 1057 and update the finish table and set P2 value to true. Now if you will check all the values in the finish table, all the values are now true. So all the process have been executed successfully. So our final safe sequence is P1, P3, P4, P0 and P2. So this is all about Banker's algorithm today. To provide suggestions or questions, please click on the following link, and you can like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you.